I'm Mariah Woods. I'm a content creator. I create podcasts, YouTube videos, I write, I direct. I like to think of myself as a storyteller, and I love to tell stories of Black women who look like me. All my friends have always taken so much joy in the stories I tell of my childhood that I decided to write a book about it. It's called How Did I End Up Here? How Do I Always End Up Here? And it's sort of a Black girl's guide to coming of age about my life growing up in Chicago. You can scan the QR code to place a pre-order here, and today I want to read you an abbreviated story from it. It's called Ice Blue Mink. I have this uncle, Eric, who either is or was a crackhead. I don't know. I haven't actually seen him in a few years, but I do know that if I want to find him, I can just go to 79th and Marquette, and he can be found standing on the porch of some person I've never met, but who has known me for years. I digress. This story in particular is not actually about Eric, though I have hundreds, but rather his girlfriend, Dinetta. Dinetta was one of the local sex workers and also a crackhead. Again, is or was works here because I haven't seen her in years. And she and Eric have long been off the 9-to-5 job wagon. Over the years, I've seen them participate in many grassroots economic movements, such as stealing, squatting, and even cracking cards, a Chicago nigga favorite. But there is one incident that I'll never forget. I don't know why, but my mama thought it would be a good idea to let Eric and Nana take us out for ice cream. But being the oldest child and being the one that she gave the ice cream money to, I didn't understand why we had to include them. I was embarrassed to be around them in public because they cannot stop themselves from stealing. They even plotted ways to steal free shit. So we were all headed to Cold Stone Creamery when Eric and Dinetta said they needed to stop and pick something up. But what the fuck could they have to pick up? They had government-issued Nokia cell phones and had never used Gmail. I knew something was up, but we had no choice but to follow them as we were technically the children. So we all waited on a street corner while Dinetta went into some coat shop in the middle of the summer, which should have alarmed me immediately, but the ice cream had started to fight back and I was focused on not shitting myself in public. Again. I just assumed that she went in to apply for a job, to use the bathroom. I was young and foolish and on the verge of making a mess in my pants. So I leaned over to ask Eric if we could leave, but before I could ask just what the fuck was going on, I hear alarms sounding and doors flying open and people yelling at the top of their lungs. I was terrified. I wanted to run because I thought someone was shooting or had just been shot. I mean, it was Chicago. But just as I grabbed my youngest brother's hand, who do I see running from security at breakneck speed? Dinetta. I swear on my firstborn child, you have never seen anyone run faster than a crackhead who has just committed a crime. On top of everything else that was running through my mind, I remembered that it was August. So if you are, like I was, trying to connect any dots, just stop. The worst part about all of this is not the stealing, the fact that I had the runs, or the fact that Eric paid us each $1 to not tell my mama, which we accepted and spent and then immediately told my mama everything. No, that's not the worst part at all. The worst part of this entire situation is every time I would see her strolling up and down 79th Street in this coat. She didn't even sell it for money, which would have made sense. She just wore it. I also don't understand why this fur coat shop would let her in the store because she owned 2 pairs of shoes. One was a pair of kitten heels that I'm sure were from the 1980s, and the other was a dingy-ass pair of all-black Air Force Ones. And on this day, she was wearing those all-black Air Force Ones. In Chicago, it's kind of an unspoken but well-understood fact that this is the footwear of a seasoned crackhead who would steal from their grandmother without remorse. So why they allowed her into their establishment wearing those shoes in the first place is beyond me. Too many times in my life, I've ended up in situations that defy logic. Sometimes we can only hope to make sense of them later with a licensed professional, or with this book. Thank you.